but it was a moment of panic there, let me tell you. Hi everyone, welcome back to Pavonine Studios Beauty and Art. If you're new here, my name is Amy. Welcome. I appreciate your time here. Today is going to be another episode in my makeup rediscovery series that I'm doing, where I pick out products that I have had in my collection for a while, but I haven't used in a long time. And to that end, today I am going to be using the BH Cosmetics Ultimate Matte 42 Color Shadow Palette. And I like BH Cosmetics in general, and I have a lot of their palettes. Let me just show you real quick what this one looks like. So it's real pretty, very colorful, pretty good mix of colors, and it's a little on the light side for my liking. I would rather see more of a half and half situation as far as light and light medium shades and darker shades, but definitely some of the colors are pretty dark. And I am probably going to do just kind of a neutral-ish eye because I do want to use another one of my Cleona shadows that I got recently. I think that's just what we're going to do today. And this is probably, I'm going to try to keep this one relatively short because this whole series is more about rediscovering products in my collection that I already have, that I haven't used in a while, that I've forgotten what I thought of, that kind of thing. And if you're a makeup collector at all, I'm sure you've got things in your collection that are like that. I think that this palette is still available. I wouldn't swear to that. If it is, I will link it below. I think we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. And I've got kind of a cream color top on with like this sort of rusty color in it. So I'll probably just do something, you know, in that vein as far as my eyeshadow goes. But we're going to start out with something kind of fun and kind of bright. And I'm going to go into this sort of yellow color. I do have my eyes primed, by the way. So I may just, you know, do kind of a, I don't know, not really a tutorial, maybe just like a, oh, almost like a show and tell kind of thing, where I just put my eyeshadow on and I don't really do a lot of talking until I get to the end. And then if I have any thoughts or anything like that about this palette in general, I can share them at that point. But like I say, in an effort to kind of keep this a little bit more focused and a little shorter, I think I will just go ahead and put my eyeshadow on and leave it at that. But so far so good. That's a really pretty yellow color. This is the yellow from the top row. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna shut up and I'm just gonna put makeup on. All right, so I got my matte shadows on, and I just put on a little bit of a base instead of using like a glitter glue or another like a primer, more primer on my eyeshadow. I decided I would use my, this is from Ulta Beauty. This is the cream eyeshadow and liner. These are really nice, and they don't come in a ton of colors, but they do seem to really like stay put and stuff. And that, but I am going to go into one of my Cleona shadows now. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the color Sandblast, and it's this really pretty, let's see, it's kind of a green to copper to red sort of situation. It's really pretty. Um, and I have not worn this one yet, so we're gonna give it a go. And this is one of the ones from the stained glass collection, if I am not mistaken. These are so rewarding. I mean, they really are. And oh wow. And I'm not spraying these, at least not yet. Hopefully you can see at least some of the shift in this eyeshadow. These are so pretty. I don't know. I know I say that a lot, and so I'm like a broken record here. But they really are beautiful. One thing that I have not mentioned before, though, when using these shadows is that they are quite fragile. And so these are not the kind of thing that you want to just, you know, toss in your makeup bag or your makeup drawer or anything with abandon. They require, because they're very soft, they're very pigmented, um, and and that means that they can be kind of fragile. So, you know, I don't mind that, but it's just something to keep in mind, um, because I when I was playing with, I can't even remember which one it is now, but I was like holding up my palette. I think I was doing it on camera, and one of the shadows kind of fell out. And nobody likes that. And of course, I gasped and shed a little tear, and then I scooped it back up as best I could and pressed it back in the pan. And it's, you know, so I still have it, and but it was a moment of panic there, let me tell you. So for the BH Cosmetics matte shadows, they're really nice. There's a fair amount of like fallout and kick up in the pan. I think that most of these are pressed pigments, but don't quote me on that because I'm not entirely sure. So there's a fair amount of kick up and a fair amount of fallout, but you know, easily cleaned up if you do, you know, your eyes before your face, which I like to do. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish cleaning this up. I'll go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on. I'm gonna film another video. Gonna do a Mix It Monday here, I think, for my base products. And I'll come back and we'll kind of go over any final thoughts that I have, but I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. And so, yeah, I'm going to go do that, and I will be right back, guys. Okay, so I've got the rest of my makeup on. I filmed another video, and that will be up just before this one, so I will link it above so that you can go check that out. It's a Mix It Monday episode. I like these BH Cosmetics matte shadows, and I remembered liking them before. I did go in with one of the darker sort of ruby colors, I guess, under my eyes to blend out on my lower lash line. You know, I have nothing to complain about this palette. In fact, I'm not really sure why I don't use it more, other than the fact that I've got a crap ton of stuff in my collection, and you know, I only do my makeup once a day, and so I mean, I guess I could wash it off and do it a couple times, but most of us don't have time for that, right? But if this palette is still available, I don't see anything wrong with it. I think the shades in it are real pretty. There's a few too many sort of light medium shades for my taste, but that may be the colors that you are into. Let me just go ahead and swatch a couple of them. So this is the shade that I put on my lower lash line, and here's like the turquoise that's in it, and then there is a, oh, what would you say? This is like a periwinkle blue, like a really bright blue. Let's see, I've got one more finger. Let's see, I didn't use this particular orange, but there's that orange. Ooh, I could have used that. That's really pretty. Oh well, you know, hindsight's 2020, right? So let me go ahead and put these on the back of my hand. I will say that the black was not like my favorite black that I've ever tried, but that's, I got lots of palettes with black in them, and that's not, for me anyway, an unusual occurrence to not really care for the black in a palette. But for today's look, it did fine. So those are pretty. I mean, they're pretty. They feel very, like I say, there's a fair amount of kick up. They feel quite powdery, but not in a I'm gonna blend away before you even get me on your eyeballs kind of way. They're not like that, but they are um, quite firmly pressed, and I don't mind a shadow like that as long as it builds on itself. Or on the other shadows in the palette. If I remember right, this does pretty well. I mean, I had no trouble blending my look today at all, and so I'm thrilled with it. Yeah. So this, I'm gonna shut up now because I want to keep this short. Want to keep this short. So I think that's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks so much for joining me in this episode of my Makeup Rediscovery series. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying this series or if you like this kind of content. And subscribe. I do love new subscribers. And ring that bell if you do subscribe so that you are notified every time I upload a new video. And until my next video, bye, guys.